Hello, everyone, and welcome to Baad Ass Us. That's right, that's who we are, Baad Ass Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. And today, as always, we have another good one for you. It's all about community speak. Yeah, that's right, the community will speak and we will listen. We have Rashid in the house, yay, he is back. And we have Melinda with us, yay, hello. And yes, who are we? Baad Ass Us. We are women, beautiful, accomplished, and divine. Our gentlemen, our brothers, accomplished and determined. Yet, as society sees us, we must still change the narrative. That's right, that's who we are. Baad Ass Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. See you on the other side.
Badass us. Yeah, that's right. That's who we are. Badass us. What? Who are we? We are women. Beautiful, accomplished, and divine. That's right. Badass us. Yeah. Who are we? We are gentlemen. Are our brothers accomplished and determined? Yet, as society see us, we must still change the narrative. Yeah, that's right. Who are we? The black community. Remember us? We are accomplished. We are determined. We are divine. We are of greatness. That's right. The black community. Badass us. Who are we? That's right. Who am I? I am the person committed to building the next community movement. What about you?
Welcome back to Baad Ass Us. That's right, that's who we are. Baad Ass Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. I tell you, the commercial breaks be something around here. You have to be here or into it. And then we have Melinda Watts with us. Yay! So, guys, let's jump into it. You know, Rasheen, you know I love you here because community speaks is just, you know, your area field that I love. You know, you're so informative. You always leave us with the R kind of moment. And just one more. So, today's topic, we talk about economic development and what does that look like in our neighborhood and for our community. Now that we have the Democratic, you know, government, you know, Democratic Party pretty much is running things here in Prince George's County. Ashley, what does that mean?
Well, I think part of it is what do we want it to mean? You got to ask that question for a lot of our residents because voters went overwhelmingly to the polls, and we elected Westmore to be the first and the only black governor in the country. We haven't had a black governor since Deval Patrick, governor of Massachusetts, almost 10 years ago.
Yes.
It's more so how do we take advantage of having that? And I think Angela did with the $400 million investment from the state government. Her and the legislative delegation brought back $400 million that are going to be invested in the Central Avenue corridor, which is really important because you have a really big economic engine that's been, kind of left dilapidated by the loss of the Landover Mall complex. Now the Woodmore Town Center has been phenomenal. I go there. I know many go there with the Costco's and other. Got anchor stores and surrounded by other good quality retail. Shows that we are deserving of something like that. And so it's good that we have $400 million. The thing is, I guess in that corridor is, will we keep FedEx Field? Will that stay? Will they take the stadium to D.C.? Please Lord, please don't take it to Virginia. If it goes out there, I don't know if I'm going to want to go to a game.
Yes.
The Virginia traffic is
Yes.
it's horrendous. I mean,
Yes.
it's way worse coming into Prince George's County from Virginia than going into Virginia. That traffic.
Yes.
Don't go 66. That was crazy. But, you know, I think we got to look at what that investment's going to mean for Central Prince George's County. You have a really, really busy Central Avenue corridor that takes you from D.C. to Calvert County. You know, we can look at that. You know, it's a bridge that bridges many different communities. There's possibility, there's opportunity for really quality retail, brand new development. It's more so of what we're going to do with that, what we have there. And I think when the site was built, I don't think we really planned it out properly, you know, to have quality retail, quality hotels. Because when you're coming in town for a game, if you look at the difference in the investment in Arlington, Texas, where the Cowboys are,
Yeah.
and then you look at the
Favorite team.
investment, and you look at the investment in what happened in FedEx Field, it's kind of it has you questioning, okay, is it racism? The reason why we got this, if FedEx Field was in Virginia, would it look like that? You know, or were our leaders and corporate community and elected leaders, were they really forthcoming and visioning what this really could be? Did they go to major corporations and tell them to invest in around the stadium? When you look at most stadiums, there's things to do around that. When you look at FedEx Field, you leave FedEx Field, where you going to go?
Nothing.
Hip-hop
It's
chicken,
nothing.
you got a beauty supply store, you have a used car lot. Like, really?
It's
You have
nothing.
you have a place that 80,000 people go at least once a month. We missed a real big opportunity. So, I mean, if I'm the leadership in Prince George's County, I'm going to try to keep the stadium there. I'm going to try to keep the stadium in the county, closer to D.C., if not in D.C., at least and plan around how we build those communities. I mean, you know, even when you look at where the Morgan Boulevard Metro Station, how you have to walk to the FedEx Field. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that weren't really planned out properly there. But the good thing is that we have a council who is kind of dealing with some really important issues that could really either, depends on how you look at it, help or hurt us when it comes to economic development.
Yeah. And so, and part of that, since we talking about the stadium, because I just remember that this whole thing, Melinda here, because you know I'm just a sports head over here. You know, is part of that too was that I'm just gonna say it. Jack Ken Cook just kind of was like pulling strings. You know, he just had everybody just pulling string because actually, if you remember at that time, Pratt Kelly was the mayor in D.C. and he had promised her that stadium was coming there. They was seen out of the country, out of town together. He had made this big announcement, you know, and then all of a sudden he poured it and brought it here in Maryland. So I just think part of that too was you know, just the politics that the owner had played, and at the last minute just jumped ship and switched, and because it was just something when everybody first found out that the stadium would not be in D.C. anymore and that it was going to be here in Maryland. So I just think part of that was Cook to just playing, you know, both screens, pulling both screens, and then at the last minute decide to come here. So they did whatever they could quickly and fast, you know, in order to, you know, please him, you know, as well as, or please the owner of bringing this team here. So I think you're right. So then, you know, taking the time of making sure that things was properly in place and developed, because you're right, because we, you know, everywhere pretty much you look at when there's a stadium, you know, they have so much more around it. Because even when just right here, when DC bought the baseball stadium here, you see they built that whole little area up because it used to be quiet where the stadium at right off what's that, South Capitol, you know, that whole little area down there and now it's like I go down there and it just look like Georgetown or something, you know. So you pretty much, and yeah. So hopefully, yeah, the stadium will stay here, and we just need to revamp and bring more things around it because it really is. If you got 80,000 plus people coming here, definitely during the months of September to January, we should be taking more of advantage of how they can spend more money here while they are visiting in this area.
I know there's talk that a lot of people, and I'm a fan of the Commanders, but I think, but I'm an advocate for smart growth and economic development,
Okay.
and an advocate for wanting my home value to go increase and go
Mm-hmm.
up as a homeowner. And so I'm looking at as much as I want to go to a stadium in D.C., I'm looking for economic development in a dome stadium right here in Prince George's County that's
Exactly.
going to help my value. I know people complain
Exactly.
about traffic, but if leaders plan smartly when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to transportation infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
how to get to and from the stadium, what to do around the stadium, offering
Mm-hmm.
more,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be helpful. I mean, I if and one you got to look at, okay, where are stadiums in the country, stadiums like that? There's very few that are in majority black residential areas like ours.
Mm.
I think we probably may be the only one.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one with the incomes that can support black area that could support, a high class stadium or entertainment complex
Mm-hmm.
if they built it there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, keep it here with us. Just make it better,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but using that, and I hope the new owners are advocates for investing in urban communities and communities of color, because I
Mm-hmm.
think an investment there will definitely help. And our communities are more multicultural than it has been before.
Mm-hmm.
We have a growing Latino population as well,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to
Mm-hmm.
figure out how to serve them.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes.
I was in the. I mean, just for reference, I was in the bank, which I rarely go inside the bank,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked, and it was like, okay, our community is becoming very diverse
Mm-hmm.
because I'm the only black person in the bank,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow,
Exactly. And
you know.
to your point,
So
that
it
is so
shows that
true.
there's diversity coming. It's
It's
like, okay,
here.
how are we going to deal with it when it comes to
Yeah.
economic development culturally?
Yes.
How are we going to deal with the growing diversity?
Yes.
Um, how are we going to deal with while the county has lost, say, 10,000 residents, the
Mm-hmm.
highest number in the region, but it's 10,000 compared to still having a population of like 900,000, close to a million,
Mm-hmm.
if
Mm-hmm.
not a million.
Million.
You know,
Exactly.
so it's
Exactly.
like, do we have the economic infrastructure to? Does the county have the infrastructure to offer one, the quality services that county residents deserve, and do they have the ability to really pull off some strong economic development that'll benefit families, that'll keep people from growing into the
Mm-hmm.
county?
That's true. And so, Melinda, jump on in here. So, pretty much, and look to the bank part though, real quick. That's true because I bank at Industrial Bank, and everybody know that's a black-owned bank. And then because I always go in, I never go through the drive-through. So when I go in and seeing the diversity in there, because for years, it just when you go in an industrial bank, you just only see black, because it's a black owned bank, it's black owned, the bank, so it's only black owned customers that's going in there. And now it's the diversity. Like you said, I see, Asian, I see whites, Spanish, Latino. So I'm like, okay, so industrial is growing and it's starting to get the diversity. So you're right about that. But Melinda, in the sense of what we was talking about having a stadium and with the new owners coming in, I'm excited part of that because everybody know I love Magic Johnson, so that's the only one I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Magic Johnson, but do you think that's going to help improve things around here, or what
I
is your
believe it's
look?
going to
Yeah,
improve some
yeah.
things because it's needed. It is
Mhm.
definitely needed, and the diversity, um, it could be a good thing
Mhm.
in a sense.
Mhm.
When you have that diversity, sometimes people are more geared to coming to build and support. Um, so even with Magic Johnson, buying the Commanders and coming in, I believe he's going to really impact some change in that area. But it's needed. It's needed.
Yeah.
I can see the diversity being a good thing because that's a sign of growth to me. Um, and we just gotta equip ourselves on how we're gonna deal with it. Like becoming bilingual, um, meeting the needs of everyone instead of just kind of isolating. We know Prince George's County when I was coming up. I lived in Tacoma Park, right? So when I came back here from Hawaii, coming just through Southeast, I was like, what has happened? Because it's like all Caucasians are moving that way, and our African Americans were moving more towards the suburbs. Where before, when I was growing up, it was more uh, few of us in the suburb over there off of New Hampshire Avenue. But now it's like it's a lot of us are moving in, and I think with the diversity, sometimes it will bring about change, but it can also bring other revenues in, whereas I think the government will be quicker to give us the necessary resources that are needed to better it, because a lot of times you have that stereotyping. He and I was just talking about, the District Height area, and he was saying that his area was, safe, but then you have people putting that stereotype there. And I think it's also going to take leadership to go in and impact the change as well. And we can't be biased because I don't think it's going anywhere, especially when we look at what's going on in our borders over here. We don't even have control over it. So we just really need to get some things in place to be able to counteract what's happening, but also making sure all diversities needs are being met.
So Rashim, here, in the last week, we have been seeing our county council. It's been on the news about the townhouse development. Is just like pretty much been taken over Prince George's County. So, what is your thoughts on it? More townhouses, no townhouses? Just where you are with it, straddling the fence on that.
Well, I mean, I think where I am is affordable housing, quality affordable housing, quality townhomes, smart development around the townhomes, making sure that we have infrastructure. Um, I'm not opposed to townhouses. I'm just opposed to where they are, but also I'm opposed to bringing some diversity in the offerings of home buying. I purposely didn't buy a townhouse. It was so many, everybody was putting them up. I didn't think they were quality, and they were too much.
Yeah.
They were
And
too much.
and wasn't giving up a lot. Did you see
Yeah,
some?
I mean,
Some of them are just so small boxes.
yeah, I mean, I wanted an option to have a backyard and
Yes.
things like that. And with some of those new townhomes,
Yeah.
you aren't able to have that, which they are like luxury urban townhomes. Most people don't want a yard, things like that. So I totally get it. Um, I am for affordable townhomes because for a lot of first time home buyers, when you're looking at affordability, in many cases, single families or can be newer single families can be more than townhomes. So, I think it's good to have affordable quality townhomes in smart areas developed with good transportation infrastructure. Places where if I lived in a townhome, I could at least hopefully walk to some place to get something to eat outside of a smoke shop or a liquor store or something like that. I would love to go out and grab something to eat, even maybe walk to a place where I can sit down in. So I think when you're looking at that, putting all these townhomes, I think it's good to look at what type of places or what things that the community need. But I think some of that's on us too. We do have to take the responsibility of dialoguing with developers and being at the planning table when they plan our communities out. A lot of times we aren't aware of those things, but I think it's up to like leadership to actually make sure that people are aware of that. But I mean, I don't mind townhomes. I know we do have a lot here. I would like to see more single family or affordable single family homes. And we have a lot of old homes here too. I wouldn't mind seeing more older homes refurbished, which I think are happening now. I mean, I was blessed enough to purchase a home, an old home that was redone, which was still cheaper than a townhouse. But you know, I think for some of those inside the Beltway, kind of look at some of those older communities as well. But I'm for smart development.
Yes.
But I think if the county council needs to stop the townhomes and maybe take a look and an assessment countywide of, you know, where growth can happen, where growth should happen, I'm for that. You know, as long as they're looking at the assessment that can make our infrastructure and our housing needs better.
Yes, exactly. So, you know, quickly before we have to go to commercial break, I'm going to say part of that, a lot of the community and the citizens, the constituents are saying, you know, we bringing in all these townhomes. So of course, traffic, roadway, and then schooling. Just how is that going to support, all the other needs that we keep building all these townhome developments? Then how is that's going to affect the roadway, our traffic, and then and everyone here is just always more concerned about, are we going to get more schools? I will just say, under Dr. Monica Gosen Bell, she's retiring at the end of the school year, that she did put in 8 new middle schools. So I
don't know if she did that. I think
I'm just saying.
It's been in the planning.
Right.
It's been in the planning for a while.
Right.
It predates her being superintendent. I think it's something that folks have been advocating for a very long time. She just happened to be a superintendent that kind of oversaw it. But, I think it's different that they're building this like public-private partnership, which is different. I mean, some people are critical about it. Not having, county or state-funded schools.
Right.
But I think, if we got to do to modernize our schools and make it better.
We got to take this commercial break, and when I come back, I'm gonna get your response on it. I really want to hear what you have to say about that. So you heard it here first on Baad Ass Us. We be right back at you. See you on the other side.
Hello, my name is Tania McQueen. I'm the Residential Services Manager for Prestige Community Resources.
What our new facilities are respite centers. We're opening 2 in the city right now. Hopefully we'll expand to more. But respite centers are a place where people can come and get a little additional support with their mental health. Our one on Eastern Avenue is for men, and our one on Minnesota Avenue is for women. Our facilities are for all DC residents, especially focusing in on those in Ward 7 and 8. So they're really nice, and I'm excited for consumers to actually see them. What are the services that we're going to provide? Therapy, case management, medication management, all provided by professional staff, a licensed nurse practitioner, psychiatrists, sociologists, social workers, and then our paraprofessionals, our case managers. It's just a place where you can come and get the supports that you need to work on your personal goals, as well as to get your mental health straight. Simple, single adult, 18 years of age or older, a DC resident. You need to have insurance, but if you don't have it, it's okay. Still come, we'll work on getting you insurance. Have to have a negative COVID test, a negative TB test, and be willing to work on your mental health. For more information about respite services, you can contact us at 202-796-5000 or hit us up on our website at www.prestigecommunityresources.org.
I told you commercial breaks are good around here. Welcome back to Baad Ass Us. That's who we are here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. We was just talking about everything going on in Prince George's County, as far as the stadium. Thank you for that, the insight, and we are so excited about new owners coming in. So we'll see what happened with that, and then just. Affordable housing, town housing. So Rashim is just definitely in favor of affordable townhouses, affordable single family homes. So I just want to know what's your take on that. Do you think we're getting too many townhomes being built here, or is it bringing our value down? Is it going to affect the roads, the traffic, schooling? What's your thoughts?
I think the townhouses could possibly affect our the flow of traffic, and personally, I think because I've heard from others the need for us to really focus on the educational part for the school system. Single houses, yes, but the townhouse, because it seems like they're so congested and they're coming up so fast. And just like you said, the quality of them, I often wonder, okay, so if I buy a townhouse living next to someone, what if theirs catch on fire? That's a whole community gone. It takes to me, it takes away from the value of a community. I think it's okay in some areas, but I think we probably need to broaden our horizons on, even like you said, more single family homes, so that you'll have that extra space. And then like we need to balance it, like really take inventory of our communities and see really what we need to prioritize first, And I do know, because I've had some people that I've been trying to help, they're seniors now, and the affordable housing is needed because some of these apartments, they're like taking the majority of their income, just to stay there. So after you pay your rent, you really don't have much to live on. So that's something, and I'm really looking forward to see what our new governor. I got word that he is actually looking to work on those areas for an improvement. And I think with us coming together as a community, and even when you were talking about when they have the meetings, I was going to ask the question. So if you are a concerned person that lives in the community, how do you find out about these meetings that they're having so that you can voice your concerns about should we do townhouses or should we do single family homes? How do you get in there to be able to get in there with the contractors to say, hey, what can we do to enhance this? Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good stuff here. So then, with that being said, we still just here just seem like we just having this need to struggle back and forth about us getting the quality stores. What stores do we have, because we find ourselves still going outside of our neighborhood to do shopping. So do you think that that's an improvement, or is need to improve? So where are you at about the quality stores that is needed here in your community, in our community in Prince George's County?
I mean, I think it's improved. I think it's improved in the offerings. I think some companies see the buying power of our communities. You put a grocery store in our communities, 9 times out of 10 is going to be probably one of the top selling chains in your franchise. We buy. We buy, we consume, we buy, we consume, but we don't invest. So it makes us definitely a prime candidate for some retail. I think what many corporations look at when they come here is that, okay, crime, education, which is unfortunate because there's some systemic issues that communities of color naturally are going to have. And of course, you just got to put proper precautions in place if you're a new company coming into our communities. But I think we do have the incomes and we consume enough to get quality retail. I think it's what type of retail we want. I was in a presentation not too long ago, and I hear a lot of people in our communities like, why we don't have a Whole Foods? Why don't we have a some of these other stores? And the main reason is we shop different.
Yes.
We don't shop like you can't. People say we should have a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's in District Heights. No, we shouldn't. We don't shop like that. We shop to where we have a deep freezer or our freezers and refrigerators are full for the next 2 weeks. Those two stores are conducive to those and have products for those who are going to eat the food within the next day or two.
Exactly.
So
I
we
get
can't.
that, but I'm a beg to differ because we are being more health conscious, and I am saying that
It's
because
not about being conscious.
yes,
It's more about
and
how we're conditioned and how we shop.
Exactly, but I'm
'Cause
going
do
to
you have a deep freezer?
no, I do not.
But did you
No,
grow up with a deep freezer in the house?
actually, no. See, that's
you're
what I'm
one of the rare-
saying.
you're
So I'm
rare.
one of the rare. But still,
but-
I get what you're saying because everybody did. They buy in bulk and that way it lasts. But for me, because I think a lot of us now are more health conscious. So being that we are buying more food that is that we have to go shopping every 2 days, every 3 days because I like yesterday I went to the grocery store. I'm like, I just spent $300. So buying fresh fruit, buying fresh vegetable, it costs more than like you said the food that you maybe stock up on and put in your freezer for 2 or 3 weeks.
that's good.
But
That's-
I'm
the
eating
thing
fresh
is,
stuff, and
it's
more
not-
people are eating
It's
that
more,
way.
but it's not enough. To
Yes,
warrant.
it is. I beg to differ. Yes, it is.
If it was,
You don't think so?
no, it's not.
I no. Don't tell
Have
me
you
that.
seen? Look at the shopping carts
carts,
when
yeah.
you go shopping next time.
Yeah, and you know what? So
There is-
okay, I'm
and then
shutting
you-
my mouth. I
No,
take it back.
seriously.
No, I'm
I
look.
actually did it once. I was
No,
like,
I
okay.
said that's why
Yeah.
I said okay. I'm gonna shut my
Organic,
mouth
Let me
because
go to
I was
Capitol Hill
looking
and
around.
Look around and look
then-
at what they're pushing.
Yeah.
Not too many people were pushing shopping carts.
Yeah.
They
I
got
really-
the
I
little.
was- it took
Yeah.
me back. I was like, shoot, maybe
Yeah.
the people that, to be honest with you, the people that were pushing shopping carts were us.
Yes.
Yes.
In those areas because, those areas are dominated by white folks now.
Yes.
And their refrigerators are much smaller. They
Yes.
don't have large kitchens.
No.
So they
They
can
don't
get a
have
little bit
3
of
and
stuff.
4
in the
Yes.
children.
basket,
They
Yeah.
don't have
And they're
large
going-
families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and that's true. I guess so. But I'm
But
still
we get
gonna
more
say.
diversity and options though.
Yeah,
Unlike
we
Lidl and other
need to.
places, so we get
And
more
I want
diversity.
more of a farmer's market. I don't want to have to drive so far away to find one. It should be one,
But I think
more
those are
central.
some of the things we got to demand.
Yeah.
And like you were mentioning, how do I find out? I mean, I think we just gotta be active in a HOA or these type of
Yes,
local
yes.
civic associations.
Yes,
'Cause
yes.
A lot of times that's the way the information flows
Come
first.
through. Mm-hmm.
And then also signing up yourself on the different websites.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important that folks
Get
sign
your
up on the different
yeah,
websites.
get them
and get
newsletters
the
from
newsletters.
Okay.
And that's how I stay informed. Oh, they're talking about this.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just a blessing that a lot of people on the council and in the delegation of my friends, and I knew them before they were elected, but,
Right.
I think there's still an advantage for a citizen to really, take advantage of that and get the information
Yeah.
so that you can show up and voice your concerns.
So it's sort of like a community awareness.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how they used to have it on the television, on the news. Okay, community awareness. And you
Yeah.
can go and find out like what's
Yeah,
what's
so
going
everything on the internet now. So so your HMOs, like you said, and signing up to be on the list. The list for your county councils, your delegates, and all that. Get on a mailing list because they send all that stuff out on a weekly basis. So and
That's
and
good
pretty
information
much-
for you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I think for us, we got to start thinking smarter when we
Yes.
get the information that we received. It's okay. A lot of this information could be okay. You see where these new communities are being planned. Is it worth investing and buying in those communities? You see new schools are being planned. Is it worth moving in these communities? As the new schools are being built and new communities are being built. I think, yes, Prince George's County has its issues. It's a county on the rise, but it only will be as good as us who stay involved in, holding folks accountable to what we want. Because we pay a lot in our taxes. That tax bill come and it's like, dang.
Yes, yes.
But that's how we're funding our government.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know. But we got to be active. More corporations come, more corporate taxes, more investment in our communities, and more resources that our government will have to properly serve us. I think at the end of the day, that's what we want.
No, definitely. That's exactly what we want. So, with that being said, mention like commercial and corporate spaces. So, because at one time we never was getting looked at as government agencies or whatever wanting to come here and have the office space or homes here. So, are we now with the pandemic? Is that now kind of like off the table because a lot of people are teleworking, or
No.
we still see
Yeah,
there
yeah.
still a need
Government is still one
Yeah.
of the largest real estate investors in the area. Government rent a lot of property and everything, but when you look at disproportionately where government's investments have been, it's not been in Prince George's County.
exactly.
Unfortunately, so former Congresswoman Donna Edwards was very active when she sat on the committee that oversaw GSA. And she was one of the ones who really pointed out why is there inequities in government leasing? Why are most of the federal facilities in Northern Virginia and in Montgomery County? I mean, it's of course we know they're going to be in D.C., but why aren't they here?
Right. Yeah.
When we have when we have one of the largest federal workforces in the country, one of the largest veteran populations in the region, why aren't they investing here? And so she called a question and really held the feet to the fire of the federal government. Hopefully we'll get the FBI center. That would be amazing for our communities and to be able to build around that in a planned situation.
Yeah.
Definitely property values will probably get new investment and probably people wanting to buy.
Yeah, because they
know?
want to be closer to work.
I mean, but we still got to be careful how we open it up here. I mean, of course, when you look at FBI and you look at their employees, even though we have a large federal workforce in Prince George's County, FBI employees, majority of them live in Virginia and majority of them are black. So they're already dealing with their stigmas of coming to work into a majority black region.
Yes.
Now the two bids for the FBI is Virginia and DC. I mean Virginia, Prince George's. So it'll be real telling on how they make their decision, and will the federal government invest in a majority black community when it comes to a major facility, a state-of-the-art facility like the FBI. So I mean, it's going to be interesting because of course we're going to have to deal with those white employees who don't want to live in a majority black area.
Oh, definitely. They
there's
rather
still racism there. Even
they
though
will
have their
commute.
black friends, they have black friends too, but still work along black folks. But they don't want to
live with
shop,
them
or eat with us.
Yes, and that's it. So that's why I wonder: is it really going to, will it really happen? Because that's it. They rather commute, than to buy home here if it was to come here.
Yeah, I even did it. Not to cut you off, but we actually did this at my job. We did this group thing, and we, the question was. And it was to a lot of the white folks, how many of them have eaten at establishments that weren't black-owned? No hand went up.
Exactly.
But these were progressive whites that I work with.
Yeah.
When you asked black folks, how many of us have eaten in a non-black establishment, everybody raised their hand.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, it brought up to them was like, wow. They've started feeling bad. I never support black
restaurants. But we go and eat at theirs all the time. But they don't. And seeing that don't get me started on that percentage thing that I say how the dollar lasts in the black community.
So we have to be really, really, really hold our government's feet to the fire on making sure that we get what we want. And
Yeah.
I think we deserve an FBI. We deserve our housing values to increase.
Yes, and that's so, and that's commercial space, and talking about that. But what about for me? I want to ask this question too. I just want you just to get your feedback and your thoughts, and I'll start with you first, Melinda. What about if we talking about now the hospitals? We got this Fortune 5 state of the art hospital that has been coming forever and ever. Okay, glad it's here, but is that just enough? What are we doing with the existing hospitals that are here? Are we going to renovate them, make them better, add on to it, or do we need, just more than just this one to pacify us? Because it's been here now, about 2-3 years? It was 2 years ago, the grand opening. Yeah. So, what's your thoughts?
We're going to need more hospitals, and the ones that have been like kind of pushed us, they need the necessary help to bring it up to par. Matter of fact, I don't want to say the name, but I ended up going in one, and my heart was just really saddened in the condition that it was in, being that it was a hospital. Me working in the medical field, you're talking infection control, but then also knowing there is such a shortage now in the field, because when the pandemic came, we lost a lot of nurses, doctors that were burnt out, and some people just kind of walked away because it was just too much. And so I think one thing we need to do is really focus on the staffing and the caring, those people that are doing the work and trying to get more medical people on the staff, because you can have a big, beautiful edifice, a beautiful hospital, but if you don't have the qualified team to operate it, you're just going to have a nice, beautiful hospital, and you're still going to be losing lives because you're not adequately staffed, nor are you adequately trained. And I think we need to go in and kind of restore some of the hospitals that we have, and not just focus on just new, because sometimes as individual, everybody wants new, but then is new better, or is it just giving us a structure of new, but inside the new, there's still a deficiency. So
I like that.
that's one of the things. And me, like I said, I've been doing dialysis for 25 years, right? I see the shortage, and the pandemic really affected the medical arena, and the nurses and doctors and CNAs, techs, they're burnt out because it's not enough manpower. And so when there's not enough manpower, you maybe have one person doing 2 and 3 people's job. Like when I went to South Carolina, I stopped at a hospital to visit a friend of mine, and they didn't even have enough people coming in to clean and sterilize. So then we're wondering why people are leaving with staph infections, things of that nature, because there's a shortage. So, yeah, we can get the bigger hospitals, but until we deal with the ones that we have and get them up to par, we're just going to have a beautiful edifice. And like I said, you're still going to have a deficiency with the staff inside, and then the care of the community is going to go lacking.
Yes, and with that too, I would even say we definitely need to even improve on our long-term facilities, nursing facility. That's an extension of hospital. And I tell you, because as you said, I'm not going to name none. Just visiting one that my friend is in, and my heart just ache when I go in that place. Just the flooring, just the smell, the stench, the condition of the room is like, it's just, we need to do something about that, like you say. So I guess, part of that, we want new, but I think we need to also work on what we already have, and holding a code, to, bringing these places up to par. Because I know if we really go in and inspect it, some of them should probably be losing their licenses,
But,
and
even with the license thing, there have been a backlog with some nurses getting their license reinstated because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, guys, we got to take a commercial break. You hear here first on Baad Ass Us. This is great. This is what I'm talking about. Community speaks. You speak, we listen. Here on Baad Ass Us, we be right back at you. See you on the other side.
Key that you mind your mental health.
Hey guys, how's everyone doing this week? Hi.
Use the 5 keys to mental
Well, this week
movement.
has been a really monumental week for me. I realized that I was not being myself.
Reaching out.
Be positive attitude person self, like you guys know me to be. I was
Staying
listening to
upbeat.
teaching and get back to that happy, cheery self of me.
This week's been kind of
Being
stressful
creative.
with all of the workload that we have on online learning. So I've been trying to use different platforms and different websites to help ease my mind and ease my stress.
And what about you, Margaret?
Well, you guys know me. I just love to work with others and serve them.
Serving others.
Realize that when I serve others, my mind is off of myself.
That's right. And don't forget, self-care is key.
Self-care.
All right. So see you guys next week.
Right.
Bye.
Your mind matters.
Welcome back to Baad Ass Us. That's who we are, Baad Ass Us, here on Vision and Purpose Media Productions. And guys, I tell you, it's just the time just goes so fast. We didn't even get a chance to talk on all our topics, but this has been great. And you know what time it is. This is our last segment, and we always close out with the inspirational moment. So this is our inspirational moment, the inspiration within. And today is supply my needs. And coming from Matthew's 6:33. Seek kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he give you everything you need. Yes, and I just thought that would be so fitting with what we're talking about today, building about our community's economic development. So sometimes, for me, with that scripture, when I hear it, I just want to know, what am I doing? Because, a lot to have the voices for maybe the fallen voices, or the ones who, may have lost their voice. We got to make sure that things are like that are happening. That's how you do kingdom building. Right. You just got to go out there and yes, in the trenches, and be about it. That's why I'm going to say Rasheem's so modest about all that he does for his community. But this guy right here is my hero, as far as what he does, and seeing a young professional out there just grinding and being everywhere he needs to be for his community. And you see how much information he loves to feed to us when he's here every third Tuesday. So thank you for being a kingdom builder. So yes. So yeah. So I'm gonna start right there, and I'm gonna just pause it right there for a minute and just go around. So supply my needs. Matthew 6:33. What do that mean to you?
So that means that if the Lord has given you that territory, everything that you need in that region, he will supply. But he just needs us to get out there to do the work. And just like you said, I was told years ago, if you see the problem, you're the solution. And we have to get out of our comfort zone, get out the boat.
Yeah, that's a speak it.
And it looks scary, but you'll never know what you can do unless you get out the boat.
All right. I like that. Anything you want to add on to it?
Well, no, you hit the nail on the coffin. I mean, it's it's like God will provide, and He will give you a way to make your community better. But He'll also provide you with the necessary resources. Resources doesn't necessarily mean funding or financial. It could be the people resources. It can be the ideas to be creative.
Yes. Amen. Go ahead on, Rasheem.
He always put a group around you that connect you to a network that'll help you build and thrive your community.
Yes.
But I think it's
Amen.
open to us to be able to see it and then receive it when it happens.
Yeah, amen. I like that. I tell you, this is some good nuggets we giving up here today, and it's so many things that's going on in the community, and that you can reach out and be a part of, and I'm just gonna take this moment to give that plug about the suicide prevention walk that is going to be here. So guys, stay tuned, look out for it. I'm going to be promoting it to June the 3rd. It is the national walk from the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They do this major walk every year, and they take it to different cities. And this time it'll be here in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, June the 3rd, and it's called Walking Out of the Darkness. Yes, and I just love the whole concept to think about it, because when people are at the place of suicide or mental health, you are in a dark place, so with this walk is at night. We do 16 to 18 miles, and we walking at night. So please just reach out, support. If you want to support the walk, you can just go to American Foundation for Suicide Prevention and donate. And if you don't have a certain person you're donating for, you can go and look at my page, Karen McConnell Jones, because I am out there, I'm walking, and I'm being a trainer for them. I'm volunteering on my service. I was like, oh my gosh! So I had my first session this weekend with my walking group. And 6 signed up, 4 showed up. So we had us a good time. So it was really, really nice. So guys, we gotta just know and get involved. Get involved. Just get involved. So is there anything, any plugs that you know of?
You just gotta put your hand to the plow. You just can't sit on the sideline. You got to get out there, and you'll never know. It's just like that book I read about Who Moved My Cheese. You got to move out, and I promise you, when you let go of the fear and you start moving throughout the maze of life, you're going to discover cheese station, new relationships, and they're going to help you go from one precept to another, one place to another, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited about how the Lord has just even been connecting me with like the Mayor Miller and different ones, and just to be about it, not just talk about it, and not even be afraid to go out in these communities, So we just did some work in Baltimore, and that area needs help as well. And I found out community is not just where you live.
Yeah, community is everywhere. That's our tagline around here. We aspire community everywhere. So, and community is just that. Community is everywhere. Last words, Rasheen.
No, I mean you all hit it. Like I said, the nail on the coffin. Like previous segment. The community is everywhere, and we are the community.
Yes, and I mean, and that is so true. That's a good thing. So, guys, again, please stay tuned. You're going to hear more about this suicide prevention. Because as we, come to May is Mental Health Month, so we're going to really be plugging. Yes, and actually Suicide Prevention Month is in September. So from now, until we come into May, this is it. Until June comes, this is it. We also doing a T-shirt drive. You're going to be hearing more about that. We're doing a special. We're going to do a special recording on mental health. So if you want to be a part of our live studio audience, just reach out to us. Go to the website, send us an email at www.vnpmediaproductions.com. Yes, and you can catch us on the web and just send us a message, whatever you want us to talk about next. And I can't wait till 3 more weeks come to see what Rasheen going to bring to the table. It's always a good one. So until next time, we are about to be out, and you know how I like to end. Until next time, continue to see your vision and live the purpose. And God bless.
Amen.
Bye-bye.